Good evening and welcome to HPU News on Tuesday, April 2nd, 2019. I'm Courtney Wallen.
And I'm Allie Ortolani. Tonight on HPU News, a 9-year-old from Georgia was struck by a speeding car.
A North Carolina judge is being charged with a sex crime.
An Arkansas teen brings a handgun to school, but first we head over to meteorologist Sean Wrinkle. For the weather, Sean.
Thank you, Courtney and Allie, and hello, High Point. I'm Sean Wrinkle here to give you all things weather. Now, currently we're at 42 degrees in High Point, with 43 in Winston-Salem, 38 in Raleigh, 51 in Charlotte, 44 in Salisbury, and 49 in Boone. Moving on to regional temperatures, we have 49 in Washington, 54 in Hatteras, 56 in Charleston, 60 in Waycross, and 62 in Memphis. Heading into national temperatures, we have 52 in Syracuse, 48 in New York, 46 in Bismarck, 70 in Oklahoma City, 81 in Phoenix, 68 in Los Angeles, and 65 in Seattle. For our 7-day forecast, we can expect highs in the low 60s to mid 70s and lows from the mid 40s to upper 50s. Overall, we expect a pretty nice week ahead. We do have a 70% chance of rain on Friday, coming down to 40% on Monday and Tuesday. That's all the weather I have for you tonight. Back to you, Courtney and Allie.
A former Catawba County Superior Court judge was arrested at a hotel near the Biltmore House in Asheville on Monday. According to officials, the judge is charged with sex crimes against a child. Police were called to a hotel near the Biltmore House for a sexual assault of a child over the weekend. Dan Green was arrested for disseminating obscene material along with providing alcohol to someone under 21, as well as sexual assault. A judge told Green Monday in court he could face up to life in prison for the charges. The North Carolina Bar recently named Green Citizen of the Year in 2018 for practicing law for nearly 40 years in the Hickory area.
A 9-year-old from Georgia was hit by a speeding car while playing in her own front yard on Friday. Now her parents are looking for help identifying the driver. It was reported that Holmes was captured on surveillance footage with the friend in the front yard of her home in Lithonia, right outside of Atlanta. The car sped through a stop sign and crossed right into the property, pushing her into the house. Holmes suffered a fractured skull and her pelvic bone was broken in 3 places, as well as the right valve of her heart was leaking blood. Despite the injuries Holmes faced, she miraculously survived, and she's set to start physical therapy on Monday.
A 41-year-old man stabbed a 19-year-old woman outside a Taco Bell in Archdale Sunday night. Randolph County Police arrested Tyvon Upshur of Greensboro after he tried to run over the family of the woman with his car after he stabbed her. His bond is set at $500,000. He faces 2 charges of assault with a deadly weapon with intent to kill and causing serious injury. He's also charged with 6 counts of assault with a deadly weapon. The woman was rushed to the hospital where she continues to recover. And now it's time we head over to Rihanna Dozier to tell us all about what's going on with our busy campus. Rihanna?
Good evening. I am Rihanna Dozier and I'm here to give this week's campus update. This week is High Point University's Sexual Assault Awareness Week. Ask what you can do to stand up against sexual assault. It's SGA President election time. Make sure to cast your vote no later than Wednesday night. Thursday, the Exercise Science Club and Employee Wellness will host the 5th annual 5K Run and Walk. The run and walk will be located at the Lower Millis parking lot and will start at 6 p.m. Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority will host the Minds of the 7% art exhibit on April 8th. Make sure to submit your photos, clothing, poems, and stories. The Office of Communications is hiring student photographers, so put together your portfolios and get your applications in today. This Saturday, the men's lacrosse team will go against Air Force at noon, and the women's lacrosse will face off against Presbyterian at 3. Come out and support your Panthers. That's all I have for this week's campus update. Back to you, Courtney and Allie.
Thanks, Rihanna. Seems like a lot's going around campus. A student at Arkansas school on Monday shot a fellow student in the apparent premeditated attack, according to school officials. The 14-year-old allegedly opened fire at school in Prescott, a city roughly 90 miles southwest of Little Rock. The Prescott School District wrote on Facebook that the student brought a concealed handgun to campus and shot another district student. The school went into immediate lockdown and the student was apprehended by law enforcement, officials said, adding it appears it was a premeditated attack specifically targeting the injured student.
A 6-year-old boy was preparing for team pictures on a baseball field in Georgia when he collapsed on Thursday. Brantley Chandler, a first grader, died of a heart attack. Chandler had hypoplastic left heart syndrome, according to his mother. The Center for Disease Control says about 900 babies are born with this disease each year. The illness stunts the growth of the left side of the heart. Chandler is known for loving baseball and being a catcher on his team. Now it's time for your High Point University sports with the one and only Kevin McMahon.
What's going on with our Panthers, Kevin?
Well, guys, another week of great High Point sports, so let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's start with the Panthers on the diamond, who are coming off of a Big South Series win over the Charleston Southern Bucks. In Game 1 on Friday night, J.J. Woodard went yard, while 7 different Panthers brought in runs for a 9-4 win. Johnny Vizcaino brought home the win on the mound. On Saturday, the Panthers won the series behind home runs from Connor Dunbar, Daniel Milwee, Travis Holt. Joe Johnson was the winning pitcher. The Panthers have now won 2 Big South Series in a row. They take on UNCG this Wednesday. The High Point women's lacrosse team opened up conference play in grand fashion. How about a 22-3 win over Longwood? Abby Horms led the way with 4 goals, 2 assists. She is continuing to have a tremendous year. Kylie Holthouse, Carol Amster, and Mina Loescher all had 3 points. Holthouse and Amster of the goal variety, while Loescher had 2 goals and an assist. On Wednesday, the Panthers traveled to beautiful Boiling Springs, North Carolina, to take on the Gardner-Webb Running Bulldogs. On Saturday, the Panthers play host to PC for Senior Day at 3 o'clock at Vert Stadium. The High Point men's lacrosse team bounced back, winning a big one over the Furman Paladins, 17-7. Chris Young keeps up his high-scoring ways. He had 5 goals on Saturday. Asher Nolte had 6 points with 3 goals and 3 assists. The kid is amazing. He already has 55 points on the season. You Tuerton voters out there, I know there's a lot of great players in lacrosse this year, but I know he's a sophomore, but please don't forget about my guy. 55 points in March. Another guy on that list is Tim Troutner Jr. The goalie had another great day with 14 saves. The Panthers have a huge game on Saturday at home as they host Air Force. Come support the number 14 team in the nation this Saturday at noon. And lastly, I hope everyone has their seatbelt on because we are on the final stretch on the road to WrestleMania, baby. This Sunday, Kofi Kingston, I love you. I believe in you. Beat Daniel Bryan and be WWE Champion. I love you.
Thanks, Kevin. Well, it seems like our Panthers are surely staying busy this season.
We'll be right back after these messages.
How am I going to pay for this?
American Express open. Go. Yes. Nice. Still buffering too. What happened? Hey, Joe, we should let you pals know that according to a leading independent study, the most.
Now let me tell you something. When block sucks, it's time for a little magic.
My name is Yankee. My last name is Kendall. So jokes on you. League. Buy all the diamonds from Africa.
Yes, they support the illegal diamond trade. It's insane. You should.
Welcome back to HPU News. I'm Courtney Wallen.
And I'm Ali Ortolani. Tinder's alleged height verification feature has subscribers scratching their heads when it was revealed over the weekend. The timing of the announcement on Friday was peculiar. As many pointed out, it was just days away from April Fool's Day. In a blog post, Tinder wrote, "It's come to our attention that most of you 5'10"ers out there are actually 5'6". The charade must stop. This type of dishonesty doesn't just hurt your matches, it hurts us too. Did it ever occur to you that we were 5'6" and actually love our medium height? Did it ever occur to you that honesty is what separates humans from sinister monsters? Of course not." Tinder then went on to describe the tool, explaining that users had to insert their accurate height with a screenshot of him or herself standing next to a commercial building. From there, the app would verify whether or not you were telling the truth. Now it's time to head over to our entertainment specialist, AJ Lloyd, to give us the inside scoop on all things entertainment. AJ?
Good evening, High Point. I'm AJ Lloyd, here to give you all things entertainment. Well, the hip-hop world is mourning the loss of someone who touched many deeply through music and kind words. On March 31st, outside of his clothing store, 33-year-old rapper Nipsey Hussle was fatally shot in South Los Angeles. According to LAPD, he was shot and then taken to the hospital where he was pronounced dead at 3:55 p.m. The coroner's office has certified it as a homicide. Hours before his untimely and tragic death, his last tweet wrote, "Having strong enemies is a blessing." Since his death, conspiracy theories have surfaced. In 2018, the rapper announced that he was working on a documentary to shed some light on Dr. Sebi and his infamous trial. This trial proved that he found a cure for AIDS, cancer, and other diseases. The doctor declared he cured 13 of his patients suffering from AIDS. He won his case against the U.S. government, then died mysteriously. Doing this documentary and shedding light on a possible cure for diseases that are labeled incurable would extremely hurt the U.S. medical corporations. This is because his health remedies would take away from their own profits. In an interview talking about the documentary he planned to create, he says, "If they kill me for making this documentary, y'all better ride." Anyone else smell a conspiracy? Nipsey Hussle was always passionate about music, entrepreneurship, and supporting his Crenshaw neighborhood. Upon hearing the news of the rapper's death, many fans, artists, and politicians and athletes offered their condolences on social media. He leaves his wife, actress and model Lauren London, and 2 children. Our condolences go out to Nipsey Hussle and his loved ones during this difficult time. That's all for entertainment tonight. Have a great night, guys.
That's really sad about Nipsey Hussle.
Yeah.
Famed conspiracy theorist Alex Jones has a new explanation for his claims that the 2012 Sandy Hook shooting was staged. Jones says a form of psychosis is to blame for his poor judgment of the Connecticut tragedy that took the lives of 26 people, including 20 first graders. Jones originally said on his news talk radio show InfoWars that the Sandy Hook shooting was a giant hoax carried out by crisis actors on behalf of those who opposed the Second Amendment. Jones acknowledged the shooting was real in a sworn deposition in a defamation case brought against him by the families of the victims. Well, that's all we have for you tonight on HPU News. Catch us again next week, same time, same place. For HPU News, I'm Courtney Wallen.
And I'm Ali Ortolani. Have a great rest of the week, High Point.